Peace and blessings, everyone. My name is Corinne Ife Aloha, and I am back again on another Let's Talk. It has been a minute, right? It's been a little while. So I have some explaining to do, don't I? Well, I have had some life changes and some work schedule changes, and been doing a little admin work here and there, and also separating the YAAS approved apparel mall platform, the YAAM platform, from the Let's Talk platform. Um, so that's another thing. So Let's Talk actually has its own platform now. So I will only be airing these Let's Talks on this platform for only a little while because it is going to be used exclusively for YAAS approved apparel mall merchants for the YAAM showcase. Now, what happened to the YAAM showcase and when is that going to happen? So folks have been reaching out. And so I'm praying that I can answer all of your questions here. If you have any questions, you can always email us. So the YAAS approved apparel mall or YAAM showcase didn't start when we wanted it to. And I truly believe things happen for a reason. When we do air these, we want to air them with the best quality. We want to do our merchants right, and we have been running into some technical difficulties with the Zoom and with freezing and glitching and things like that. And prayerfully, that those kinks have been worked out. We'll still be seeking other avenues, but prayerfully that has been worked out. Also, we have to also consider scheduling and things like that. So I have promised to start the YAAM showcase was a couple of weeks ago, and that did not happen for the reasons that I just explained. And now with my work schedule changes and things like that, um, what we will do is once the dust settles, I'll say that. Once the dust settles, there will be an announcement so that you will be ready and prepared when we do the YAAM showcase. Okay, which will be in the near future. It's just that I'm not going to give a date again uh, for obvious reasons. So I'm not going to give a date. You will know um, a couple of weeks or maybe even a week prior to us airing the YAAM showcase, because we definitely want you to be able to get the discounts if you want to purchase something, if you have questions for the merchants and things like that. We want you to be able to ask, but we just want to provide the best quality um, uh, presentation um, before we start that, which again will be in the near future. I'm tempted to give a date, but I'm not going to do that again. We go so just bear with us on that. Now, as far as the Let's Talk is concerned, I am going to ask that everyone who has subscribed to YAAM platform, as you can see, the platform has changed. The logo has changed. You see a mall there, but you also see my Let's Talk logo because Let's Talk now has its own platform, and we don't want to confuse anyone. So the link to Let's Talk will be in the description box below. Please click on that, subscribe, like, and share. Now, I've also announced prior that the YAAS Approved Apparel Mall, or the YAAM showcase, will be on Sundays, and the Let's Talk videos will air on Tuesday. Well, with the life and work schedule changes, I am going to say this. I will post as often as I can as far as Let's Talk is concerned, but you will always know when the YAM showcases will air. Okay. So I will post as often as I can as far as the Let's Talk videos are concerned. Once all the dust settles, then um, I will be able to, I'll have a schedule that I can adhere to at that point. Now, I hope that I have covered everything. So with this channel, again, you see a mall there. It is exclusively for Y'all's Food to Power Mall. However, I will be posting some Let's Talk videos here until we can get those who are subscribed to this channel, or the majority that subscribe to this channel, over to the Let's Talk new platform, new channel there. So that way you know where to go. But eventually this channel will be used for YAM showcases only. Okay. All right. So having said all of that, we are going to talk. We are going to talk. So let's talk. Let's talk about African American culture and the Bible. African American people, how does the world view us? How do they view us? Well, I looked it up. I just looked up African American, um, and this is the Wikipedia definition. Okay, I'm going to read it. African American culture is rooted in the enslavement of Black Americans, a brutal and dehumanizing era of America history that stripped Black Americans of African American cultural history, the arts, language, fashion, and aesthetics. Okay, let me read that again. Let me read that again. This is the definition now that I got from Wikipedia. African American culture, that's how it starts, is rooted in the enslavement of Black Americans, a brutal and dehumanizing era of American history that stripped Black Americans of African American cultural history, the arts, language, fashion, and aesthetics. This is the Wikipedia definition they want us to believe about ourselves. And unfortunately, most of us do, despite the seemingly universal appeal of African American vernacular culture amongst the youth all over the world, all over the nation. Yeah, we impact everybody. We influence everyone. We have an influence. Okay. So African American people, how does the world view us? Y'all, I read the following statement from a document while researching something that I'm currently working on. And it reads, African Americans, this is how the world views us now. Not just a handful of people. We're talking about the world view of us. Okay. African Americans are spoiled, rude, and culturally impoverished bastard children consumed with attitude and anger. Okay? Let me read that again. African Americans are spoiled, rude, and culturally impoverished bastard children consumed with attitude and anger. Okay? Offended yet, African Americans? Okay, let's just take a look here. Let's look up the word culture. What's the definition of culture? I looked that up too. It's a two-part definition. I'm going to read them both. Culture, the arts and other manifestations of human intellectual achievement regarded collectively. That's one. Second part of it is the customs, arts, social institutions, and achievements of a particular nation, people, or other social group. What makes up a culture? There are 7 components that make up a culture: place of birth, faith, language, cuisine, or your traditional dish, social behaviors, art, and music. I'm sure there's more, but I'm going to focus only on these 7 here. Let's start with the place of birth. Okay, so you know that our roots are from Africa. Our ancestors are from Africa. So that is where our roots, that's where our roots are. But we are born here in America. So our place of birth is America. Now, does my heart long for Africa? Yeah. Have I ever lived there? No, I've never been. I've never been. I know that's where my ancestors come from. So who, who wouldn't, which one of us wouldn't want to go back and put our feet on the ground, our hands on the ground in Africa, in any one of the countries, because it's not a small place, in Africa. So my heart is there, although I've never been there. There's something about me. Maybe it's the roots that long for any country in Africa. I don't know which one. I don't know which one. But I know that I know where I was born. So I was born here in America. If you're African, of an African descent, and you have a United States, a birth certificate here, you were born here, then this is your place of birth. Okay, next, let's talk about faith. That's another one of the components. Faith. Our faith and trust and believe. We trust and believe in the holy, great I am creator of the universe and everything that is in it. The one who owns the breath that we all breathe. He is our Father. And the earth is our mother, for he has formed us from the clay of the earth and in his own image. Now don't go freaking out like, oh, she's saying it's Mother Earth where, you know, I say that because the scriptures say that man was formed from the clay of the earth. So our Father is the creator of all things, and that is where our faith lies. We have faith in him, and he has not forsaken us, and he has not failed us. Okay, we're going to move on. We're going to move on to language. Okay. Every culture has a language, right? We have one. Ours is Ebonics. Now it's evolved to African American Vernacular English. Okay, but our language is Ebonics. We made that. We know what we're talking about when we speak to each other in our language, okay, with the way we speak. Now, some people may want to, I don't know, I'm not going to say demonize it, but make it seem like it's just so ghetto. Oh, it's ghetto. That's ghetto language. No, it's our language. It's not ghetto. It's the way we communicate with each other. Just like, I don't know, if you spoke another language. So Spanish people speak to other Spanish speaking people in their language. We're not going to call that ghetto. Okay. So Ebonics is our language. That's how we communicate with one another. Okay. We understand each other when we speak this way. Okay. Let's move on to the traditional dish or cuisine. Ours is soul food, which has a very rich history according to the untold truth of soul food. You can Google that. The untold truth of soul food. Very interesting, very good and interesting read there. Go learn about it. Yeah, soul food. Okay, social, let's just move on to the next component, social behavior. Now, because we have roots in Africa, our social behaviors are going to be very similar to African social behaviors. We we value um, interdependence and collectivism, as well as the importance of spirituality. We're very spiritual people, and raising our children in a spiritual household with moral values and personal values, such as respecting yourself and others, and especially respecting our elders. I still, to this day, respect my elders. I will not, I will not disrespect an elder. Okay. We emphasize cleanliness. You, in my house, you are not going to you're going to clean, and your body is going to be clean along with it. Just like, when I was growing up in my mom's house, you weren't just going to lay there all day, have a messy room, or have a messy house and not bathe. No, you were going to clean and you were going to bathe. So, yeah, we emphasize cleanliness and family closeness, family bond. My family is close. We're very close. That's how I raised my children in my household, and I raised them to be obedient as well. Okay, so that is our social behavior. Let's move on, and we're going to talk about art. Okay, um, art. So let's just talk a little bit about this. Africans brought to America in the transatlantic slave trade came from large cities as well as some small towns from different continents, countries in Africa. So they weren't just snatching up just any old body and saying, "Hey, there's an African, let's snatch him up and bring him on over to America." No, they took the best of the best. There were some kings okay? Some priests, some lawmakers, some warriors, doctors, and farmers. Some had also been highly skilled in in artisans, like sculptures, highly skilled sculptors and expert at carving wood, ivory, and stone, and metal workers who knew how to work gold and brass and copper. We had potters and basket makers. So it wasn't just anybody. You know, it wasn't people who just did not have any skill or look strong. These were they knew who they were taking. They knew. They wasn't just taking people who were not going to be able to contribute in some way. They took textile workers who wove clothes and painted designs on fabric. So, do I need to really say anything about art? We're the embodiment of art, okay? And lastly, music. I mean, music, do I need to say more? Um, our music have, well, let's just talk about the roots of our music first, okay? So our music have um African Congo, West African a foundation, and it has an African foundation, okay? Rap, which is used by everyone. I mean, we're the founders of rap. We made that up. Rap kind of reminds me of like, I don't know, rap poetry, psalms. I don't know, just saying. It reminds me of that for some reason. Okay, but rap, which is used by every nation, no matter what language they speak, people are rapping in even their own language, you know, which is quite nice. It's quite nice and fascinating. All right. We have also rhythm and blues, or R&B. They like to call it R&B now. Rhythm and blues, which has taken the world by storm. And I don't even need to name the artists that people do know all over the world. I'm not going to go naming any of them because you already know. When I think of R&B, I think rhythm, like rhythm. And when I think rhythm and blues, I think rhythms of Africa and the blues of colonialism. And then I think Psalms 137, verses 4 to 6. How shall we sing the Lord's song, or the Most High song, in a strange land? If I forget thee, O Jerusalem, let my right hand forget her cunning. If I don't remember thee, let my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth. If I prefer not Jerusalem above my chief joy. That's what I think of when I think of R&B. We are the salt and seasoning of music, and everyone has gained currency from our music all over the world, period. Okay. We've all benefited, everyone. So we do have a culture, okay? We have a culture. We have a place of birth. We have a faith, a language. We have a cuisine or traditional dish. We have social behaviors. We have art. We have music. We have history. We have culture. Okay? We have our culture. No other nation of people have overcome what we have overcome and still survive and thrive. There's no other people like us who can endure what we have and continue to endure and yet and still find peace and joy. Our Father keeps his promise. John chapter 14, verse 27. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give unto you. Not as the world giveth, give I unto you. Let not your heart be troubled, and neither let it be afraid. You see, we will never be defeated because our Heavenly Father will not allow it. The Most High Creator, who is self eternal and holy, and I know I keep saying it because he deserves all the praise and honor and glory. He sits above all the heavens, and the earth is his footstool. The great I am, whose breath we all breathe. So I suggest we all use it wisely because he can take it anytime he wants. Can you imagine that? He is perpetually breathing the breath of life into us. Every time we inhale and exhale, we should be thinking of him, our Father, and pray that we use that breath wisely. Pray that we use that breath to make his heart smile and not disappoint him. He is our Father, and the earth is our mother. For he has formed us from the clay of the earth in his own image. Now, again, don't go off the deep end because I said the earth is our mother. I'm using it as an example because where else can you get the clay of the earth from? But from the earth. All right. So chill. That's one of our words, chill. Anyway, First John chapter 3, verse 3. Behold, what manner of love the Father hath bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of the Most High. Therefore, the world knoweth us not, because it knew him not. Maybe that's why they can say such things about us. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe that's why they think that we are bastard children. Well, let's look it up. What's a bastard child? Let's get the meaning sorted out first, because it has two main definitions. One, a person born to unmarried parents. And you can't say that about every single one of us. That wouldn't be fair. You can't just label us and say, they're all, born of unmarried parents, because that wouldn't be true. That wouldn't be a true statement. You'd be bearing false witness. Okay. And then the next one would be a despicable person, someone who is despised. Well, you know what? I'm going to give whoever thinks this way about us, you give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to assume the persons who make such statements about us are referring to the latter definition, despicable, despised. Well, didn't they say that about our Messiah, Yeshua? Didn't they say, the same thing about him? I mean, they felt the same way about him, according to the book of Isaiah 53, 3 and 5. Let me go ahead and read that for you. He is despised and rejected of men. Yeah, that sounds like us. Sounds like we have something in common. But anyway, I'm going to continue to read. A man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. Sounds like us. I'm going to keep reading though. And we hid, as it were, our faces from him. And he was despised, and we esteemed him not. Surely he hath borne our griefs and carried our sorrows. Yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of the Most High, and afflicted. But he was wounded for our transgressions, and he was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. Now, I'm going to pause for a minute because these are just some things that make you just go, Things that make you go, Like, by his stripes we are healed. That's anybody who wants to be righteous, anyone who wants to turn their life around, anyone who wants to bend to the will of the Most High like water. Because, you can pour water into anything, it just takes on that form, that shape. Yield to the will of the Most High. Change your life. Renew your mind. Give your life to the Most High. Then you will also be healed. So even though you feel that way about my Father's children, about my people, about my family, we will still forgive you. Isn't that nice? And I mean, it's not just lip service. Not just lip service. We will truly, truly forgive you. By our gifts, talents, abilities, and inventions, the world has fed themselves. So you see how even our Father, our Messiah, Yeshua will forgive you and heal you. He will do that for the world. For he so loved the world that the Most High, our Father, for he so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that if we were to believe in him, you know the rest. Okay? He will accept you, and we will accept you. Because who is our mother? Who is our father? Who's our friend? But those who do the will of our Father. Okay? So, by the gifts, talents, abilities, and inventions of our ancestors, and even the descendants, this world has fed themselves and continue to do so. You're eating because of the children of the Most High, because of the Most High, and because of his children, because he's blessed us. But let me continue. So even though we are forgiving, we are still despised by those who make such comments about us. I ain't mad at you. I just wanted to talk about it. Okay? Just want to talk about it. But I want to say this to my people. Be very proud, my African American brothers, sisters, nieces, nephews, cousins, aunts, uncles, children, and babies. Yep, I said babies because they are extremely smart and understand more than you know. I could say a lot about that, but I'm not. We are amazing. Praise the Most High Creator who has created all things and has given his breath for us to breathe as long as we are on this earth. He is holy, holy, holy. He is our Father. And having said that, let's do some canceling out and casting down because life and death are in the power of the tongue. So we don't like it's almost like a curse. So we're just going to be canceling and casting down. So let us cancel and nullify the following statement. African Americans are spoiled, rude, and culturally impoverished bastard children consumed with attitude and anger. Let us claim, however, the following blessings. So let us instead claim this blessing here. There is no other people in the world like us. We are blessed, talented, gifted, brilliant, and creative, like our Father who made us in his image. We are masters in all crafts, the children of the great I am. We are adaptable, survivors, gifted in every way. We set the trend, and everyone else follows. People all over the world want to be us. They want to be like us. And we have peace and joy. So, in all of this, we have peace that passes all understanding. Praise Yah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Our ancestors are the creators. I have to say this. Just let us be proud of who we are. Okay? Our ancestors are the creators and founders of mostly everything you see, from the discovery of electricity to the heel of a shoe. Mostly everything you see and use to function was created by our ancestors or us, the descendants. If you do your research, okay, you will see we are the creators of almost everything you see and use. The reason why you don't know this is because our ancestors' inventions were stolen. Our ancestors bought a lot of, you know, stuff from Africa, okay, ideas and things. I'm sure if they knew anything about patents and had the right to do so, they would be recognized for their own inventions today. Okay. But when you are owned by your slave master and you have an idea, then that idea then suddenly becomes his idea. So you don't know who did it. You don't know the real person idea. You don't know the who originally created it. Okay. We run the world and most of us don't even know it. In my opinion, this is just my opinion, okay? Would never be would not they would not have functioned as it wouldn't function as it does without the contributions of our ancestors and descendants. Okay, that's just my own opinion because our ancestors have contributed a whole lot, even a refrigerator. But there's a whole, I mean, we have a rich history, okay? Okay, all right. So this is because of the blessings in Deuteronomy 28 that some seem to forget about. See, all these inventions and things making life easy, it's because He has blessed the works of our hands, just like He promised, just like He gives us peace, just like He gives us joy. Okay? When you see propaganda and what the media wants you to see about us as a people. They're only going to show you what they want you to see. They're only going to show you when we're angry and acting out and running around half naked and all this stuff. But know us for who we are. If you want to know, get to know an African American. We are not spoiled and we are not bitter and angry, hurt because of what happened to our ancestors. But we are, we have peace and we have joy because of the blessings of our Father. Deuteronomy 28, verse 8. And the Most High shall command the blessings upon thee and thy storehouses, and all that thou set thine hands to do. You see that? We are the salt of the world. We are, we created our own language, really. Some call it Ebonics, others call it African American Vernacular English, if you want to be all fancy about it, uh, or African American English. And it is the most spoken language on planet Earth, believe it or not. Um, somebody is using one of our words or two of our words. I don't care what language you speak, you find a way to speak one of our words. That's how powerful we are. Every culture speaks our language in some form. If it ain't my bad or yo or woke, that's a new thing. That's woke or hold up or what up, and many, many more. So much more. Bay, all all. There's so much more. There's so much more. My bad is. I mean, who's not saying that right now? Anyway, we speak our languages. We speak our language amongst ourselves, just like any other culture. For example, if you speak, I don't know, if you speak whatever language, I'm not going to pick out any languages. I don't want anyone to think anything. But whatever language you speak that language amongst your people, and we speak our language amongst ourselves. We understand one another, even our body language. We can nod our head a certain way and we know what that means. We can give you a certain look. We can give our kids a certain look and they know what that means. Or we can even give a total stranger that looks like us a certain look and they will know what that means. Okay, so we not only have a spoken language, we also have a body language. Okay, who else has that? We are an amazing people. Okay, our language was and still is the only thing that no one else can say but us that we created it, we made it up, and it belongs to us. Hallelujah. Okay, so that's what I wanted to talk about. I want you to share your thoughts, comments, like, subscribe, share, subscribe, share, and I'm very interested to hear what you have to say. What are your thoughts? African American culture and the Bible. And how does the world view us? I hope you're viewing us in a different light now. Well, may the peace and blessings of the Most High rest upon us all.